So I want everyone in the room to briefly close your eyes and picture a helping professional. You can take your pick: kindergarten teacher, social worker, art therapist, special educator, so on. Got it? Okay. Now I want to tell you about a crisis going on in our country where I think that these types of professionals can make an impact. There's a group, which is a minority in our educational system, that's been having increasingly negative outcomes over the past few decades, with the gap between them and their peers continuing to widen. They now make up 64% of students that need to repeat a grade in middle school. They're more likely to be suspended from school, more likely to drop out from high school, less likely to complete college. And they now earn master's degrees at a rate that is 20% lower than their peers. "11 times more likely to be incarcerated, more likely to be homeless, 4 times more likely than their peers to be diagnosed with conduct problems, learning disabilities, and autism, and 4 times more likely to die from suicide." So who is this group in crisis? By now, you may have guessed that I'm talking about our nation's boys. Now let's return to the helping professional that you all just pictured. Let's see a raise of hands. How many of you pictured a female doing the helping? Good. And you'd be right. These fields are the ones that conduct research, design solutions, and work directly with boys to address the problems that I just talked about. But unfortunately, they're lacking from equal participation from men. Here's a picture of me getting a degree in counseling. Notice anything about the gender diversity? And other fields are similar. Social work grants 11% of its degrees to men. Developmental psychology grants 15% of its degrees to men. Interestingly enough, these fields are the ones that can directly impact future outcomes of boys and young men by promoting growth and positive social development. They provide services directly to boys in clinics, child welfare agencies, schools, and more. They also study the development of boys and help design innovative solutions to these social problems. But luckily, President Obama is on the case. He said we've got half the population that is way underrepresented in those fields, and that means we've got a whole bunch of talent that's not being encouraged. So, as you may have guessed, he's not actually talking about why we need more male helping professionals. He's talking about why we need more women to study science. But he's absolutely right. We need the innovation and creativity that comes with improved gender diversity in order to better address the problems facing our nation's males and females. Increasing gender diversity in the human services fields is one important way that we can increase the availability of effective solutions to these problems by increasing the diversity of thought that is designing and delivering the solutions. Having more visible males in the field will also help change the hesitant attitudes of boys towards seeking and accepting these kinds of help. So what does all this have to do with automobile safety? Well, back in the 90s, a group of mostly male engineers got together to test and design airbags and seatbelts. But unfortunately, they only used male test dummies. And as a result, females were significantly more likely to be injured in car crashes. What I'd like to argue here today is that we have a parallel problem occurring in the helping professions, and that our boys are suffering as a result. Currently, when a boy is a good listener, empathic, spends a summer as a camp counselor, volunteers, or visits a nursing home, he's a nice kid. But when a girl does the same things, she's got career options. I want to try and change both of these attitudes and expectations, and I'd like your help starting the conversation. If we give boys opportunities to feel accomplished, capable, and provide them with professional role models and mentors, we can impact these disparities and enroll more men in the helping professions. This will encourage young men to see beyond stereotypes and consider career options as a helping professional. Our boys in crisis also need male role models, and helping professionals are in a unique position to fill that role in their lives. I don't have all the answers, so I need your help. Let's start by broadening our discussion on gender diversity in education and the workforce. I want to start that conversation on gender diversity in the workforce, and I also want to try and change what comes to mind when you picture someone who cares. And I hope that you care now too. Thank you.